day. I work with Holland Greentech. As we move on, I would like to request each of us to request everyone to mute themselves so that we can all be hearing whoever will be speaking. And Patrick introduced himself as Holland Greentech. We are not the only team members that are on board. I would like the other team members to also introduce themselves as we move on.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carissa Deus. I'm the Managing Director of United Pearl Exporters, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Deus. Joel, Victoria, please introduce yourselves.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Labor Day to all of you that have spared time of this day that workers across the world celebrate to spend it with us. We really appreciate you. My name is Joel Senjala, and I am colleagues with Deborah, Patrick, and Victoria at Holland Greentech. Thank you. I'm looking forward to a very fruitful deliberation today.
Thank you, Joel. Any other person? I think other members will join us or will do the introduction later on. Let's go on to the program. Patrick already gave us an opening prayer, so we are done with the introduction. We would like to inform you about the reason why we are having this session. We are having this session because we would like to talk about hot pepper production indoor and why would someone go for it. First of all, most of you have been hearing about the hot pepper. Hope everyone knows hot pepper because sometimes we use habanero. Hope all of us know hot peppers. I would like to be talking as I get some replies because I don't want to be driving an empty car. Please, can we be getting some replies? Do we all know hot pepper or habanero?
Oh yes, I know it. I'm Javier Frederick from Safi.
Okay, thank you. So today we have with us Mr. Carissa Deus, who is hello. Let's please mute ourselves so that we can communicate very well.
Yep.
I would like to request that person to please mute so that we continue.
Yes, we continue. I'm Bizimana Matata from Chisoro. Hello?
Okay. Thank you, Bizimana, for the time you're going to spend with us. Let's continue. And the other colleagues, you can do the introduction in the chat. We have
Yes.
a chat. You can do the introduction in the chat. Or you can communicate whatever that you want to communicate in the chat.
Okay.
Yes. So I was saying.
But I don't receive your video call right now.
No, we can't do video, all of us.
Okay.
But hope you can hear us.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And we would like to request maybe after when you communicate, you mute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, please mute. And I was still communicating that our major topic today is about the hot pepper production indoor or in the greenhouse. And
Yes.
with us, we have Mr. Deus Carissa, who is an exporter for United Pulse. So he's going to be giving us the business side and the marketing side of the hot peppers. He requested that after the hot peppers, he will add on the white eggplants after. So today, our main focus, we are going to look at the hot peppers. In the hot peppers, we have the red and the yellow, and these ones that we are talking about are not the sweet peppers. We are talking about the hot peppers, like how we can hear them. They are hot, or they are bitter, or they are sour, or they have a very, very high pungency or a very, very heavy smell. Like when we talk about hot, like how you can hear it, hot pepper. So as Holland Greentech, we have different varieties of hot pepper. And I believe Patrick gave a very fast brief of whatever that we do in Holland Greentech. So we prepared this session so that we can talk about the hot pepper production. So I don't want to take more time. I would like to invite Mr. Deus to take us through. And maybe after, as a team, we will supplement.
Thank you very much. Like I said, my name is Carissa Deus. I'm the Managing Director of United Pearl Exporters Limited. We are exporters of fresh fruits and vegetables, and we've been in the business for now 12 years. Our office address is in Kanyanya, where we have our central parking facility. We reached out to Holland Greentech because we are interested. We have a good business for hot peppers and green chilies and garden eggs, and reached out to Holland Greentech so that we could work with them, because we have a very big market and we are finding a challenge having farmers who can produce the quality and the volumes that we need. And therefore, our call was to ensure that we get the support, we get the farmers, contractual farmers who we can have a contract with, so that they grow for an assured market, and also so that we're able to control the quality, because quality is key. Controlling the MRLs and the pests are key to ensuring we have a very good product for the market that we have. And that's how we got to this level. And I'm glad that this initiative was taken on seriously, and we are here. I would request that for the session we're going to have, we feel free to ask anything that we would want to know, anything that the farmers would want to know, so that if we get farmers who are going to take on this product with us, we are moving from a transparent level where all parties know what is expected of the other, and then we move forward together. For hot peppers, we offer, because we know every product has a peak and off-peak season. But however, we offer a stable, for those who grow in a greenhouse, we would like to offer a standard price where you can do your projections and know that if I grow this product, this is how much money I will be earning weekly. This is how much money I will be earning maybe every month, and also you project and see how much you will earn in a season. Because we believe that if the farmers use the Holland Greentech seed and we work together with the technical people and the support, we should be able to meet our targets. We have a weekly requirement of about 25 tons of hot pepper, but I find it hard even now to meet 5 tons of of hot pepper. Reason being, it's not about the volumes, it's about the quality, because you don't ship rubbish to the market. We mainly operate in the European market, and we must be careful of the MRLs, so that the chemical residue levels. We also must be mindful of the pests. Also must be mindful of the texture and the general outlook of the hot peppers or the products that we take, because you don't want to ship pepper that has no pest, has no MRLs, but it is, by the time it reaches the market, it is rotting. That is because proper agricultural practices are not being practiced at the production level. Therefore, we believe that working with farmers who are doing greenhouse production, we will be able to hit these targets, to be able to create a much better market for our people, and also for us as a company, as a business. Why did we opt for this? When we do our research, mainly in Europe, most of the habanero production is done in greenhouses, and they are putting stricter regulations on us Caribbean countries, because they realize we are doing mostly open field production, where you cannot avoid overusing chemicals, where you cannot avoid pests. So therefore, that's why I'm here to talk to the members who are in production, and we see how we can do business. I think with that, I thank you. Probably I would want to know from the moderators the standard size of the greenhouse that you sell. We look at how many plants can go in, and then I'll also give our price for each kilogram of habaneros. I know some farmers may ask, we are going to grow habaneros. If we start harvesting, maybe some members can harvest every after 2 days, others can harvest daily, depending on how big their greenhouse is. Here at our office, we have enough capacity, enough cold storage capacity to ensure that whichever farmer harvests can deliver. We sort, and then we can store as wait for the next flight that will be taking the goods. Therefore, it shouldn't be a challenge if we move into production to ensure that whatever the farmer produces and is of quality is able to go to the market. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deus. For this case, we are going to be looking at a greenhouse that is 9 by 30, which is 270 meters. And this greenhouse will be taking half of the crops that we normally put in a normal greenhouse. Like when we are growing sweet pepper, we normally put there 1,000. But for this case, because hot pepper grows wildly or grows vigorously, for this case, we will take 500 plants in that greenhouse. And you have said that can we please mute ourselves? And we are looking at this. We are looking at 500 plants inside, and a seed pack of 100 seeds is 22,000 from Holland Greentech. And Mr. Deus, for this case, we are looking at people that have already established greenhouses, or even those ones that are able to install new ones. So you can give us the price for the kg, like how you sell per kg, or how you give the farmers per kg of hot pepper, and which colors do you prefer as United Pearls? And in case anyone has a question, please put it in the group chat or you can unmute yourself and ask. Mr. Deus, we can go on.
Thank you very much. Deborah, for the hot peppers, we are made the biggest, we do yellow and red. So we have, for yellow, we have a targeted period where we need the yellow, and we can work out the volumes that we would need every week for the yellow to have specific farmers who will grow, because we would need yellow from November all the way up to May. For red, we export it every day from January to December. For every kilogram for contract farming in the greenhouse, we offer 3,500 shillings per kilogram.
So you mean a farmer can grow red the whole year?
Yes, yes.
And only wait for November to May to do the yellow?
So the yellow, we have to work backwards and see if we need 3 months. So we work backwards from November to ensure that by the time we enter November, we have production starting for the yellow.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Yes, you are.
Yes. So we can work out and see if a farmer has the size of the greenhouse that you've talked about.
Yes.
When we enter production, how much shall we be harvesting every week, and therefore we multiply by the contract price that we will have, and then we can move forward so that the farmer can have the projections. The other technical bits, I think Holland Greentech would be best to answer. For me, what I can assure you is that we are not going to just verbally talk about the price. We will sign a contract, and then you produce knowing that I'm producing and this is my main market that I'm focusing on. And why do we offer this price incentive is because we know there are periods where we're going to make losses. We don't want you to grow hot pepper where you reach a time and then you're calling nobody is taking it, and yet you've put in a heavy investment. So for us, we offer a standard price for those that we're going to move the journey with, because we need the volumes, we also need the quality. And we believe that the farmers of Holland Greentech, that Holland Greentech works with, should be able to offer us that quality and the volumes that we need to the market, which we can continue to grow, because it is a very big market. The only issue is always having the product that is required, that is demanded for by the market. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deus. I've been seeing some questions. I said a pack of 100 seeds is 22,000 at Holland Greentech, and that is for red and yellow. The price is constant for both colors. So we will look at the investment from the seed up to when we get the harvest, and after we will work out our profit, or we will get to know our profit. Hope we can all hear what we are talking about. I've seen another question: how many plants go into the greenhouse of 9 by 30? You said 500 plants because hot pepper takes some bigger space. Another person said, do you support farmers on the crop cycle on what to do or apply every day? Yes, we do support our farmers from 0 to somewhere or up to when you go to the market. And another one is asking, please let us know expected production compared to sweet pepper from experience with farmers already growing in greenhouse. Here we are not in a comparison of hot pepper and sweet pepper, because we've seen these are different crops, but we will still give the production Another person is saying, how is transport from field to packing house handled? Deus, I think you can answer that. How is transport from the field to the pack house, like your pack house?
Thank you very much, Deborah. Now, as United Pal, I don't know whether some farmers come from areas where we're operating. We have some collection centers where we pick produce. However, it all comes down to the volumes people have. Because if our farmers, I believe that the farmers we have here are not in one area, unless if one is an area where we collect produce from. I do not want to promise air here. It is difficult for us to come to your farm to pick maybe 500 kilograms because we use trucks. So most of depending on where the farmer is, if one is outside of our collection center area, that means that they have to do the delivery themselves. For those who are in areas like Masaka, like southwestern Uganda in Ntungamo, where we have like Gulu, like Rila, there we can have a centralized collection center. However, we pick produce, let's say, twice a week. Now, if you're in greenhouse production, we expect that, we believe that with greenhouse production, we'll be having farmers who are harvesting maybe like 3 times a week, or I don't know, maybe you can guide us, the team at Holland Greentech. But because in Europe where I've gone, people harvest every day. So I don't know if it's the case with our production here, whether it can be managed like that. But yes, that is how the collection here or the delivery can be done. I thank you.
And another person is asking Mr. Deus, that is the price for yellow the same as the price for red?
Our offerings are the same. However, since we are looking at this farmer only who will prefer to do yellow working for a few months, we can adjust the price accordingly. We can offer a little bit more incentive to ensure, because we also need the yellow for that period. But however, like I've said, the farmer has to know that they are growing and they're going to supply us yellow from November up to May. But for the farmer who is joining us for red, he knows that he or she is going to work for the whole year. So we start with you and we continue, and even when the crop cycle maybe ends, then we also will be looking, because it will also give you an insight based on how you have performed and what you've seen. Maybe you may want to expand, and you may want to expand the production and have another greenhouse. So even mid-production, we may request you that if you can and you have the capacity to organize another greenhouse so that we have continuous production.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Deus. I think the other questions, we will answer them as we move on. Now we are going to go on to our investment costs that we put in. I would like to implore our farmers to have a pen, because today we don't have a blackboard or a screen to share. We will start with the price of the seed that I told you about, that each pack is 22,000. That is of red and yellow, both have the same prices. And if you feel like they've not answered your question very well, please bring it up again. So in total, we said that we will have 500 plants. For the 500 plants, that we do 500 plants times the 22,000, or 500 seeds times the 22,000, that is 111,000. And these ones, we take it like a person who is going to raise them is going to raise them in the nursery for the greenhouse. So we take the pit moss and the trays. These 500 seeds will need 8 trays of 66 holes. And these 8 trays will need 5 kgs of pit moss. Each tray is 8,500. And this gives us a total of 68,000 for the 8 trays. And for the pit moss, most of the greenhouse growers know that each kg is 6,000, and so we will need 5 kgs, that is 30,000 that you're needed to be having. So this one is our nursery, because if you get the seed, you get the trays and the pit moss, you're done with the nursery. So we will go on to the disease or the crop protection. There, being that the crop that we are dealing with is very delicate, we would like to first work on the disease intervention as well as the pest interventions that we will need. There we are, being that most of you know that now the fungicides and the pesticides are really expensive. So we will give it 300,000 for the pest. And also we need fertilizers, the fertilizers that we normally use. We don't want our clients to buy 1 kg of DAP, 2 kgs of calcium nitrate, 2 kgs of potassium nitrate. We would like to deal in 10 kgs and above, because this crop takes some longer time in the greenhouse. I can see someone has requested me to go back to the trays and pit moss. We can go back. We said we are taking 500 plants in the greenhouse. We will need 8 trays and 5 kgs of pit moss. Hope I'm clear. So I've given the different prices of these, and I've also given the price for the seeds, the total price. I've said it will be 110,000 for these seeds, because we need 500 seeds. But then we will need to put in the extra, so that when we get, maybe when some seeds don't germinate, or maybe when something happens, some are eaten up by maybe something in the nursery. So here, I would implore you to put in excess. That means that we will have 600 seeds. I'm so happy that this person took me back. That means that we will have 600 seeds, and the 100 will be for replacement or as addition. That means we will have to use 13,000. We will have to use 132,000 as our total for the seeds. I'm so sorry, I have to take you back. And after this, I think I will go on to where I've been. For the pest and diseases, we've said we will put there a price of 300,000. This will help us to buy the fertilizers and as well as fungicide. This will help us to buy the fungicides for the disease control. This doesn't include the fertilizer also price. The fertilizer price, we will have also to put there 300,000. Then we will go into the labor. The labor, we are putting there 500. I don't know how you guys pay your labor, because we are considering you're paying that worker. We don't want to put 1 million because we believe it will be too much. You're paying that worker probably between 70 and 100. How is it? I would like to hear from you, because I've been talking alone. How is the labor that side? How is the labor that side? Hello, let's communicate. How is the labor that side?
I think someone
Anyway,
has put 150, another one has put 35,000 per month. So in the chat, they are responding.
okay, I've seen 250 per month. Labor is very expensive, minimum 150. Oh, 350 per month. And this one, we are talking about someone who is handling 1 greenhouse. We are talking about someone who is handling one greenhouse. Another person has said 70,000 is not feasible. Labor is between and above. Labor is so we are going to take for greenhouse worker casuals are paid per day 10K, 2 people each. So we are going to take 200 per month from what I've got from you, or we are going to make 150 per month. We are going to make 150. I'm going to do it again, once again, from nursery to where we are so that we can be all at par. We said in our nursery, we are going to put 600 seeds. We changed from the 500 because we put more 100 extra for any case of anything that can happen. Then we said we can still maintain our 5 kgs of peat moss, but then we will have to add on to 9 trays because the 8 cannot do the 600. So we will move on to 9 trays. And each is 8,500. So we will need 76,500 for the trays. And we will need for the seeds, like I said, we are going to use the, we will need 132,000 for the seeds. And the labor, you people have given me 150 per month. So we are going to consider half a year for this person. How is it okay if we consider half a year? Because I don't want, we consider 6 months after we see the work. Because most of the time, I know you people don't stay with this worker for long. Actually, they disappear. So we will have, actually, we are going to put 1,50,000 as our total for labor. We are going to put 1,05,000 as our total for labor. Please mute yourself if you're talking, and I would like at least to hear some voices when we are complimenting. Okay, we are on. I can see in the chat, it's really very, yeah, it's really. So we do, because I can see some comments, so we are going to do 1 year of production per greenhouse, and that is going to be 1.5 M. I don't want to leave you people behind. I can see in the chat. Let's keep putting our questions in the chat. So we will go on to the pesticides and as well as the fertilizers. Like I said, we will use 300 of the pests and diseases and 300 for the fertilizers. And Mr. Deus told us that he's going to give us 3,500 per kg. And we are expecting our crop to be harvested at 3 months. We are going to start our harvest at 3 months. So as a crop, we consider the first month in the nursery, then the 3 months in the greenhouse. So we will get our harvest at 4 months. First month in the greenhouse, first month in the nursery, and 3 months in the greenhouse. Please mute yourself. Mr. Atto, please mute yourself. Let's please mute ourselves so that we communicate well.
If possible, if members can also mute the videos so that the network is good. Thank you.
Now we are going to go on to our harvest. this crop, we will give it a minimum of 10 kgs and the maximum of 15 kgs. And remember, we have 500 crops in our greenhouse. And we are giving 10 kgs per season, not per harvest. And these 10 kgs are expected from one plant. Okay, you're welcome, Florence Naziwa.
Answer to this deep question.
Okay. I was hearing like as if someone was asking. So let's go on to the harvest. We are expecting 10 kgs minimum and 15 kgs per plant. So we will do first for the 10 kgs and first, and then for the 15 kgs. Remember, we are going to total up our investment costs for labor, for the fertilizers, for all the input that we've put in. And I know most of our farmers use electricity to pump this water that is going to be used for irrigation in the greenhouse. And I would like to hear from you how much you normally use for power as we are discussing about the kgs that we get and as we are getting that total. How much do you normally use for electricity that pumps water to the greenhouse? And this one is saying that I joined in late. Which crop are we looking at? We are looking at hot peppers in the greenhouse. Madam Eunice. I would like to get some charts here that are telling me how much, because I don't want to put yes, because even me, I believe for the power, I've seen someone is saying 50,000. So for the electricity, we are going to put there 400 for the whole season for our electricity. We are going to put there 400. And most of us have solars. Yeah, this is good. Most of us are using solars. Oh, someone is asking what we mean by a season. A season is the growing period or the production period. It starts from planting to the harvest or to the last harvest. And this crop that we are looking at, we are starting from the first month up to addition of more 8 months. So we can take it between 8 months to a year. But for someone who is doing greenhouse, most of them are going to abandon the crop at 8 months. So we are looking at 8 months. So that is our season. We are looking at 8 months. Hope I've answered your question. But we are not stopping at 8 months. We can exceed to a year. So is there any question as we are moving on? Is there any question as we move on? I would like to hear from you. If you have any question, please feel free. Please feel free. Okay, we can do a year, but most of the things that we've been doing, we are looking at a year, by the way, because After removing at 8 months for you to prepare again, it goes again to a year. So we are looking at 8 months to a year. So it's almost the same. So we will go on to the harvest. Like I said, we will have between 10 kgs to 15 kgs. Mr. Deus told us that he's giving us 3,500. So if we do 10 kgs times 500, 10 kgs times 500, we will have 5,000 kgs at the end of the season. And if we do 5,000 kgs, if we do a season, we will do our 5,000 kgs times the money Mr. Deus gave us. Are we still on? Are we still on?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Okay, that is great because I don't want to be talking alone.
Yeah, we can hear it.
So we will have 17 million, 17.5 M. That is the money that we have. And if we get 15 kgs, because this is the minimum of 10 kgs per plant. So let's do the 15 kgs times the 500 that we have, the 500 plants. So we will have 75, we will have 7,500 multiplied by the price Mr. Deus gave us. This gives us 26,250,000. Hope you can see that. Patrick, you can help me to put that in the chat, the different amounts. For the 10 kgs, we will have 17.5 M. And for the 15 kgs, we will have 26 M. So we will look at the costs of investments that we've been looking at. We are considering this for a person who already has a greenhouse without the costs for the installation. So we will start with the price for the trays, that is 76,500. We will add the price for the pit moss. Then we will add our 1.5 for labor, 1 million. We will add our price for the seeds, which was 132,000. Then we will add our price for the disease control and the fertilizers. There we had 600 as a total. We had money for the fertilizers. We had 400. Hope we are all adding so that I don't give you a rough total. And we had money for electricity. We said, let's do 400 also. And this one, we will add onto miscellaneous. In our miscellaneous, we are going to have transport to the market. We will have anything that falls in. And here, we are going to put 2 million. So this gives us a total of 5 million. Hope all of us have this. We have a total of 5.1 million. But this one doesn't have any included installation investment. This one only has the operating costs. These operating costs, the seeds, the fertilizers, and all that, but it doesn't have the installation costs. So on this, because a year is too big, sometimes we need to repair some drip lines. We need to work onto some. Sometimes we get bad weather and we get the UV plastic. So we need some repairs on the greenhouse. So we will add in 2 million for those repairs, for those simple repairs on our greenhouse. So we will have 7M. But remember, our money that we get at the end of the season is 17 million. But this 2 million that we've just added on, sometimes we don't actually face this. So now we have our 10 million as our profit. Hope all of us are getting this. No, Pitmos doesn't increase, actually. I can see here in the chat, Pitmos doesn't increase. The cost of Pitmos is 6,000 per kg, yes. The total for Pitmos, we had 30 actually. We had 30, not 35. The total for Pitmos for 5 kgs is 30, not 35. Hope we can see very well. So Mr. Deus, you can come back and take us through the market.
Deborah, I think you've gone silent. We cannot hear you. Hello.
I'm so sorry that I got lost, but I'm back. So Mr. Deus, you can come back. We are done with the mathematics. And I think we've been moving very well. We've been doing each and every step together.
Okay, I had spoken about the market. I think maybe the aspect that remains now is that if we have farmers who are ready to move forward with us is how do we move forward? How do we sign a contract, and when do we begin? I see somebody on the forum has asked about open field. I think open field production is if you leave the initial cost of purchasing a greenhouse, open field production is very expensive. And also there are high chances, because we've been in this business, like I've said, for 12 years, the disease infestation in the open fields now, with our temperatures getting warmer, it has become very, very difficult, you know. So, and that's why we have now issues of MRLs, because people now are using more chemicals, stronger chemicals to deal with the pests. So it's I am not technical, but I know that open field production will definitely be way higher than the greenhouse, because the greenhouse, the challenge is always the initial cost of purchasing a greenhouse, but the operating costs are always lower in a greenhouse than open field. So on the business aspect, for us, we have the business, we have the market. The assurance we give is by signing a contract with us, and then we move forward. We also have agronomists, but I believe that when you're doing greenhouse production, you need more of a knowledgeable person on the ground. It's also not good for everybody to come and enter your greenhouse. Those things you know better. So, Deborah, I think that is all I can say. Unless if farmers have questions for me, I'm willing and open to listening and learning and also answering those I can. Thank you.
Mr. Deus, you had also promised to talk about the white eggplants. Please do.
Yeah, so the white garden eggplants is also another product that we do do a lot, and also we are very much interested. And also it has the same similar problems. The pests and the MRLs are not so much of an issue, but mainly it's the pest. And also the issue of the seed. So we believe that if we can have organized farmers, we can offer a stable price also. We're looking at 2,500 because we know garden eggs go as high as, can go to 3,000, can come down to as low as 1,000. Sometimes even farmers don't have where to sell them. So we are looking at contractual production, where a farmer can sit down and have projections that are realistic and also work for a market, because for us, our focus is mainly to get a very good, to get high quality product. And we believe that the farmers that know that seed is key are the only ones who can always produce the quality, because many people, what the biggest challenge we have is always the seed. The seed is always the beginning of everything, and many farmers unfortunately don't know that. So we would want to know from Holland Greentech with you, because I know you have two varieties that we've worked with some farmers and they're very good. I don't know which one is best, you know better. We would be interested also in having farmers where we can do contractual also production in garden eggplants. Thank you. The white ones. Some, I may just say garden eggplants, and people, they are white. We have green, we also have white. So we are interested in the white. The white garden eggplants is what we are much interested in, because it's what we ship out also every week.
I've seen another person is asking, does Holland Greentech also have white eggplants? Yes, we do. We have them in stock, and we have two varieties. We have Kazinga and Benu. Kazinga is 8,700 per 100 seeds, and Benu is 10,000. It's 11,800. And Mr. Deus, also another question would be, how do we reach onto the contract? Because I've heard that you do the contract. As a farmer, how do we reach onto that contract? And also, do you do contract farming? I hope you can get me when I ask about contract farming, that you provide what the farmer would need, and at the end of it all, you divide the costs with the farmer. Do you do that?
No, we only offer the market. That's why we have a locked-in price, because now that would change everything, because if we're investing everything, but also I want people to understand that we work with very many farmers. So, and we're purely a business, not government funded, not donor funded. Therefore, it is important that we stick to principles that will make business sense for both of us, for the farmer and also for us. So we only offer the market. Where necessary, maybe is where we approach, like the way we approached Holland Greentech. We source for a good, and maybe at some point we can also work with some donors if we know to help our farmers get certain facilities at subsidized costs, but we do not finance the production bit for farmers.
Okay, I have some more questions here. This one is for you, Mr. Deus. Where are you located as United Pulse?
We are located in Kanyanya on Gayaza Road.
Okay, thank you. And another person
is also my numbers. The
Okay,
first
thank
number,
you
the
very much.
Airtel had an extra 7, which shouldn't be there. So that's why I've repeated it again.
Okay. Then another person is asking where Holland Greentech is. We are located in Muyenga off Tank Hill Road. Our offices are there. You don't find us in Container Village. You can only find us at Harvest Money and Chagwe Trade Show, like Patrick mentioned. We normally go for shows, but not all of them. But if you need us, you can find us in Muyenga or you can call us. We have different numbers. I've shared my numbers in the chat. You can take my numbers. And another person is asking, do we need greenhouse for garden eggplants? No, we don't need a greenhouse for the garden eggplants. These ones, we are talking about open field. And another person is complaining, you are taking us speed, madam, slow down on the eggplants. Okay, I wasn't the one that was talking about the eggplants. It was Mr. Deus, and he was giving us the market analysis or some prices for the eggplants. I only mentioned the varieties that we have and the prices for the given variety. And I said 8,700, the one variety, and another variety is 11,800 per 100 seeds. And another thing, most of you farmers come to our offices asking for seeds in kilograms or grams. As Holland Greentech, we sell per seed because we give you the best quality. And Mr. Carissa can testify on that. We give you the best quality that you cannot find in any other place. Let's keep the questions coming because we are at a time of closure. I would like to call upon my other team members. If you are there, thank you, Patrick. Patrick has also shared the office line. I would like to call upon other team members. If you have anything that you can share, please, this is your time.
Thank you so much, Deborah, and thank you, Mr. Carissa, for generously sharing on this topic. And for everyone who is attending, thank you so much for the questions. They have made the conversation very fruitful. Maybe from a Holland Greentech's point of view, why this and why now? I've seen from the chat most of the attendees are greenhouse growers, and if you've been in this business for 3 years, like I already know many of the attendees are, you realize that there has been a fluctuation in prices, and the demand at a certain point goes very low, which not only renders the price very low, but also makes the consumption of the peppers that which is what many greenhouse growers are growing, and I mean sweet pepper, not moving as fast as any investor would want. So then this is why we're having these conversations like this, because you can clearly see that being able to harvest 5 tons, and then you have a locked price of 3,500 shillings, gives you a very, very good opportunity to be able to continue running a business in a way that makes economic sense, because the economic performance is very good. That brings you to about 34 million. This is not something that is very easy to achieve in today's market, especially if you're doing sweet pepper, cherry tomatoes, and the beefsteak tomatoes, especially if your market is the open market. So this is one way of us saying there's an alternative crop that you could look at, and there's someone that is willing to offtake the produce. Like we have always been saying, our role in all this is always going to be proactively bringing all the parties together to ensure that we solve the challenges that we are all facing. Mr. Carissa and Deborah mentioned about the fact that at a certain point, we might have players coming in to help, especially in the infrastructure development or to finance the inputs that are associated with these ventures that we are all looking at. And I'm excited to inform you that as Holland Greentech, together with some of our partners, that is a project called Hortimap, we are running a project that that can be able to fund some of the infrastructures that were some of the not infrastructures alone, but finance some, offset some of the input costs that were highlighted by Deborah in her earlier submission. And if you're a grower in the Elgon region, in the central region, and in Chigezi, and you're interested, you really believe that this is a good way to go, you are now ready to start growing the habaneros and be able to supply to markets like that of United Pearl, do reach out to us. The numbers have been shared, and then we can start to see how we get you enrolled to be able to acquire a greenhouse or open field irrigation for those of you who are interested in growing the garden eggs. When it comes to the questions, I saw a number of questions pertaining to the whether or not shade nets can be used to grow habaneros. That is a yes and no, depending on what one refers to as a shade net, because habaneros, because of the family from which they come, they need a lot of light for reasons that are quite obvious. Putting them in a shade net that is small enough not to allow the insects for which people are going from open field to indoor would mean that they do not receive enough light. So it's very hard to strike a balance. However, there has been successful trials where an insect net, like most of you must know, the one that is used on a greenhouse, have been used to protect the crop, and the results in there are quite interesting. So all those are things that we could explore together. So again, do reach out to us. Deborah and Mr. Kalisa, there has been a question that has not been addressed, and that is one going to the agronomy. I think I saw Mr. Kisamba asked it last. Who is meeting the agronomy cost? Because in the earlier submission, it was not highlighted, and then it is also not very clear whether it's going to be done by United Pearl or it is by Holland Greentech. Of course, I know the answer, but Deborah and Mr. Kalisa, if you could be so kind to address this question, I think the listeners would really appreciate this. And thank you, and back to you.
Joel, I beg you repeat the question, that last bit that you need me and Mr. Carissa to answer.
The agronomy.
Sorry, Deborah. Sorry, Joel. Somebody had a question. I think it's Grace Aguaru. She raised her hand, but I don't know if she asked the question she wanted to ask.
I would like to ask a question. I've actually asked it on the chat, but my issue is, like you mentioned, most of us are already greenhouse farmers doing sweet pepper. So one of the things, okay, you've mentioned about the markets, and which I also agree, it's been a big challenge. But I wanted to speak more on the outputs, because you have mentioned 10 kilograms or 15. And I remember even in the greenhouse training, we have been having a challenge about these numbers on production. And I think this is where we need to also, make sure that as a farmer, if I'm switching my crop, what really is going to be the real benefit of me switching my crop, maybe from the sweet pepper to the hot pepper. So my question is, are we going to be the first farmers doing this in the greenhouse? And do we have figures of farmers that have produced this at the 10 kilograms? Because I think we need to go into this when we have some examples, or some examples to to learn from, or at least we are sure that farmers can get this 10 kilograms, because I think this has been the same challenge with sweet pepper. We are told farmers can harvest 6, 7, 10 kilograms, and yet many farmers are still struggling to reach even half of that number. So how is Greentech, Holland Greentech, going to ensure that these figures we are talking about are going to be met by the farmers, so that we don't come into this and then, you know, we don't continue because we have not met the numbers, either because of our own carelessness, okay, our own not being able to meet the requirements, or maybe it's a figure that is not attainable here. So my issue is about the kilograms.
Thank you, Grace. As Holland Greentech, actually, this has been just a talk. We would like also to have a field day where you people can see how the plant grows, how we can do the good harvest, like how we've been taking you to Avail. We talk about the crop when you can look at the sweet pepper. So we are planning a field day whereby we will have a physical look, or we will have a touch, not only a talk like how today we've been talking. And as Holland Greentech, most of you know that we do support you, and we support you from the very first stage to the last stage. So even in this, we are going to be supporting you from the first step to the last step. But we are not seated also, like I've said, we are preparing to have a physical or a field day where you farmers can come and see a farmer who is doing the hot peppers indoor and how the harvest is. So, Madam Grace, thank you very much for giving us a reminder, because most of you wouldn't have known that we are really preparing for that. Thank you very much. And I'm seeing in the... And also, I would like to call upon you farmers, like Joel mentioned, we have a project for HotMap, and it's ending this year. So please come and register. And also, as Holland Greentech, we are preparing a greenhouse training very soon in June. I would like to call upon all of you farmers to come and join us. It will be on the 15th of June. It's going to be at KCCA. So we are going to be sending you invitations and all that. So please come and join us. We are going to be talking about crop production, and we will have our topic that we will mention as we are inviting you. So you will get invitations like how you got this one. And in case of any changes, we will still inform you through SMS, through the social media, and any other avenue that we can afford to use. Hope all of us are satisfied. And I had forgotten to mention about the agronomy. I would like Mr. Deus to tell us how they normally support their farmers. As Holland Greentech, we normally give the agronomy. Most of you farmers, you know that when you have a problem, you normally call us. We reach on to your different farms. We sort you out. We tell you what to do and how we can move on. I don't know about the United Pulse. Maybe Mr. Deus, you can share with us how you normally do on the agronomy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Deborah. Yeah, so as a company, we have agronomists, definitely who visit our farmers in production to provide the support. Also, the other aspect, someone asked, I think I had skipped it. Someone asked, how do we move forward on the contract thing? I think we will have to liaise with you, Holland Greentech. The farmers who are registered under you, who are going to take on this product, are the ones who will, once they are ready, is when they've taken the seeds, they've done the nurseries, then we can do a contract. But you can guide, but it would be much easier so that we know who from this training is going to take on the production like we've discussed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that submission, sir. Also, I would love to, Joel raised his hand. I think he has a submission to make. So please, Mr. Joel, can you kindly share?
Yes, I wanted to go back to the question that was raised by Grace. Are the numbers realistic? And is there anyone that has achieved this? The response is yes. Well, I don't know if some people might not know, but as Holland Greentech Uganda is a part of a big group of sister companies that now operates in about 13 countries. So the numbers that are being shared here today are coming from research of about 2 years that has been conducted in Rwanda and in Tanzania, and having the market there caught fire. So as those operating within the Ugandan market, we felt jealous. So that is why we are bringing this opportunity to the growers that we are working with here locally, such that we can as well take advantage of the growing market for these products. But the numbers have been achieved, and they are numbers that we can relate to because they have been studied across a given period of time. Thank you.
I've seen someone raising their hand.
And maybe to add on that, it's actually because of those sister companies that I met in Berlin, Germany. That's how I got to be very much interested in, because I was looking at the work they've done with farmers elsewhere and their crop and their product in the market. And that's how we got to this engagement that has led us to this level, because the truth is farmers elsewhere are realizing that 15 kilogram production, and without even the size dropping. You find the farmer is doing the right thing. The habanero they are producing from the time they start harvesting to the end is the same size. So just to add to what Joel has said, yes, it is possible, because I have seen it with my own eyes that it is possible being done. And that's how I got the reference to Holland Greentech, and here we are. Thank you.
Is there any other person who has any query?
Just something very small. Madam Deborah, somebody came in the comments and said that they're Julius from Bale, and they would love to register with Holland, and because they just saw this training on Facebook. They shared their number. I think you should get the number and probably add it to the greenhouse group or any of the groups that we have for growers.
Thank you, Julius. I've seen in the chats. Thank you, Julius, for joining us. We are going to reach out to you so that we get your information. It's absurd that you've come in late. I don't know whether you've been with us from the start. We are sorry that you've come in late, but we will get in contact with you. Let me get your number. Good enough, you've given us your information. Julius. And Patrick, I beg to be helping me in the registration also, so that we can get into contact with these people.
All right, no problem. No problem.
And Dr. Maluz has also come in late because he's asking about the prices. Our prices per kg, we said we will be giving 3,500 per kg of habanero. And another person is asking, is habanero affected by any soil-borne diseases and how are they controlled? Any crop can be affected by the soil-borne diseases. As you can hear them, they are soil-borne diseases. That is why we put a crop protection like schedule if someone is doing these hot peppers or the sweet peppers, we normally give a schedule so that we can do the control or the prevention. Yes, they can be affected like any other crop, but we put a crop protection schedule or protocol so that we can control or prevent. Another person is asking, is it exclusively organic or conventional? This one we can ask United Pulse. Do you allow these farmers to spray chemicals onto the hot peppers, or you would like them to do organic? Actually, this one we've not talked about it.
Organic production would be the best. If we can do conventional where we are not, because if we use chemicals in a controlled environment, it will bring in its own challenges. Unfortunately, I'm not an agronomist, but I know that if you're doing greenhouse production, there should be minimal use of chemicals, because the market we export to is very sensitive when it comes to chemicals.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we look at, as Holland Greentech, we can also explore the element of biocontrols, because I've seen in other regions and areas and countries where you people are active, people use biocontrols to do greenhouse production.
As an agronomist, what I know, we are normally given a list of the fungicides, the pesticides that they want us to use in the production. And these guide us because they normally have a PHI. Some have 7 to 14 days. This PHI guides us when we are to harvest and how we can harvest and when we are to spray. So we cannot talk about that all, but what I would like our farmers to know, that we need a clean crop that is free from pests and diseases. And another person is asking what
and also, Deborah, sorry to interrupt, and also free from chemicals, because we have to be very sensitive when it comes to chemicals. But I know there are chemicals that have a PHI of 1 day. There are chemicals with the PHI of 3 days, but also the chemical application, I think, in a greenhouse should not be intensified. It should be way more controlled. Should be lower.
Okay. Patrick, another person is asking, how can one access the entire recorded presentation?
Yes, this presentation has been recorded, and I will upload it on our YouTube channel. So whoever didn't get the full submissions or the whole meeting can find time and visit our channel, subscribe, like, and follow, and they'll be able to get the full meeting.
Another person is saying, please HGT guide us on what to use and not to use with chemicals. Otherwise, our farmers error, it may cost other people on export batch. Yes, I believe that. And yes, we will surely guide you. And another one is asking, what are the favorable conditions for habanero growth? The favorable conditions, we said we will start with quality seed, water, enough water, fertilizers, fertile soil, and as well as crop protection, which includes the disease and the pest control. I'm seeing so many questions that are coming. What are the different varieties of habanero? Even the trucks should be monitored. Carbon from exhaust pipe affected a lot. Yes, we can see this one. Thank you, Mr. Ronald Katerega. We have different varieties.
For ethylene, I think what he said that is the test for ethylene. I think Uganda that was lifted, but that doesn't mean that we should contaminate our produce. But yes, ethylene tests were lifted on Uganda. I think production with minimal pesticide usage in the greenhouse is very much possible. All we need is to ensure, because farmers who have experience and have been in production for some time, it should be much easier for them to manage this crop. Deborah, I need to run for another meeting. I don't know if there are any other questions for me. If you can guide me, and then I would.
No, Mr. Deus. Other questions are still coming, but I'm also about to close because I can see different questions that are coming. Hope everyone, we've shared our numbers. Our numbers are on WhatsApp. Please feel free to send in your questions. Please feel free to call us, but in the working time. And also, we don't work on Saturdays and Sundays. Feel free to call us from Monday to Friday, from 8 a.m. to 6 a.m. Beyond that, please don't call us. How about hot chili? This session was about the hot peppers. The chilies, we have different chilies because we have the cayenne and all that, and maybe we will organize also for cayenne, but as for now, we were talking about the habaneros or the hot peppers. Another person is asking whether habaneros grow well in swampy areas. No, they don't like areas that keep a lot of water unless you dug their trenches that will be taking the water or moving that water so that it doesn't sit into them. And another person was asking about the varieties. The varieties, we have that Scotch bonnet and the and the habaneros. This one, we have the yellow and red. As the varieties, we have Lengai, Loleza, Afagia, Mawenzili, and other varieties as Holland Greentech. And I believe some of you have ever seen them. Even when you go to Google, you just put in Lengai RZ or Loleza, you will see how these crops look like, other seeds. They will give you more information. Please, you can visit us on our socials. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on LinkedIn and also YouTube. Please visit us, Holland Greentech Uganda. We will be happy to get your different ideas and how we can support you through this journey of farming. We really appreciate your attendance. Thank you. I'm Deborah Namande. If there's any questions that have not answered, it is only one actually that I've just seen. For the yields of 16 by 30 meters of greenhouse, there we will have over 700 to 900 crops. So just do the 700 to 900 crops times the 15 kgs per plant. You will get the total. Thank you very much. It was nice talking to you. Bye. Allow me to leave you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for joining. Dr. Walu, it was good to see you. I see you raising your hand and thumbs up. It was amazing to see you. Geoffrey, Viachika, everybody, Ronalds, and thank you, United Pulse, for coming on board. Thank you, Solomé. Thank you, Josiah. And we shall probably be having these sessions come and go. So please just elaborate to make sure you follow us on our social media platforms. If you're not in our greenhouse growers groups, please engage. And for those who are there, that somebody was requesting for a price list. I think I shared the price list of the crop varieties we have. So you could, but it's not the full one. Those represent the key and major. So if you need any more, you can still reach out to us and inquire. And still to expand a little more, we specifically are vegetable people. We are vegetables. We are a company centered on horticulture. So it's strictly or mainly vegetables. We do not have maize, we do not have cassava, we do not have matoke and all that. But if it is vegetables, we got you, we have you all the way around. Thank you so much for joining. And as said earlier, we shall have this on our online platforms. And thank you for the feedback. It's always good to have this. And yes, I think we can call it a sign out today. And I think we can call it the end of the meeting. Dr. Walu, we shall keep in touch. We shall keep talking, both in the group and probably over call. Yes, we've had interactions with him, and he's a very proud Holland Greentech farmer. We shared some of his success stories on our socials, and in case you also have a success story actually, and you would love us to come visit your farm, we can come. And I mean, do something small. We can have a short documentary about what you're growing. You can expound on us. You can help us help educate other farmers in the whole process. So thank you so much for joining. Whoever joined from everywhere and anywhere. Hope to see you again soon. And yes, have a lovely day and enjoy and happy Labor Day again.